What's going on, guys? My name is Rumble Skrash and welcome to the second part of the tier list video of best units in Pyro Rumble. So if you haven't checked out the first part of this tier list, I suggest that you do, also because I explain the criteria that I use in order to rank these units. So go check that out and then go see this video. So I will link the first part here on top. So in the first part, as you can see, I ranked the dual, the strength, and dex units, and I will be ranking the other three typings. So yeah, go check that part if you want. Definitely, yes, as you can see, it's a very long video, and this one is also going to be a long one. So. Yes, I probably not a lot of you are going to be watching the entire two videos, but I really appreciate first of all if you do. But at least it's going to be a video where if you wanna see a particular unit and what I think that this unit will provide for your teams, then you can like skip to the part where I talk about a certain unit, and at least if you go to the end of the video, you will see the final picture. So if you're interested in seeing what I think of every specific unit and why I have ranked them in a particular specific place, then you can just search that in the video. But yeah, I hope though that you watched the video. But yeah, so let's start with the quick units. So now we have the Rate Bank so free-to-play unit, so that's very good. You can farm him every week, and very good unit, mostly in defense teams. He is a massive defense, well, not massive, defense of level 3 for 3 typing, so strength, dex, and quick at the very start and for the whole match. So that's a lot. Will give himself a lot of HP up, which will allow him to live more. And then with a special on a low cooldown, a lot of attack down and a little bit of damage. So that's a good unit, and I really like this unit. Also because there's good dex and quick and strength units. So I think you can do some good stuff with him. I think he should be around here, I think. Yes, I think he should be somewhere around here. So also is because the fact that he costs 30, so I'm taking into consideration a lot the fact that the units cost more or less. So if a unit costs 20 and does something good for your team, but even if this unit does not do as much as a legend does, that does a similar thing but better. Yes, the fact that one unit costs 20 or 30 and the other costs 55, it's a huge difference, and I'm taking that into a lot of consideration. So yeah, then we have Legend Frankie, kind of rainbow HP up, almost rainbow, like 90%, not 90%, but a lot, 80% of the units that you want to put him with, he will give HP up, so it's almost rainbow. And then we'll give health cut with the special and defense with the special. So I think he should be higher than Jack because of the fact that in the uses that you're going to be using, probably he's going to be as a rainbow HP buff, and he gives more HP and he gives more defense with the special, and also his health cut is high, well, relatively high during the whole match, while Jack is only at the very start, and then he will only give a very low health cut. So I think Frankie should be higher than Jack. So yeah, then we have Raid Bellamy, another free-to-play unit that you can farm, and I suggest that you do because very good unit. Costs 30. It's a driven centered unit, but you don't really need to use him in driven teams. Only driven teams, I mean. But he's good. So HP up buff to Driven, and with a very low cooldown, the same I think is as Kizaru, 15 seconds, will give some health cut to units, and then defense on level 4 at max special. So I really like this unit, and also in the future, Drivens are going to be very relevant. So I think this unit is going to be seeing more play. So I think he should be somewhere around here. So yes, as last year's are more relevant now, this unit probably will see more play than this guy now, but maybe in the future things are going to change a little bit. So yeah, then we have Carrot. Carrot is like Frankie, almost a rainbow speed buff, and will give attack to herself with a passive which is not relevant, but because her special will give fixed damage and not multiplier damage, so that doesn't really make that much of a sense. But yeah, then a lot of fixed damage with the special, a lot on a large range, and then we'll give special CT reduction, which is good. So very good unit. I have two problems with her. The first one is that she has a very low defense stat and she dies very early. The second one is that she has very high CT. And well, I actually have a third problem with her is that she tends to miss a lot. Like, I don't know why certain units tend to miss a lot the special, but it's really annoying when you're relying on Kara to win the match and then she just activates at the other side um, of the field and then she completely misses every unit. So yeah, I mean I may be a little bit biased because I don't really like this unit, but she's very good, and obviously I have invested in her, so I think she should be like the top of tier 2, I think. Maybe I think it's the lower end of tier 1. So very good unit, but I do not really like this unit. But yeah, well, then we have Cracker. So Cracker is an interesting unit, slasher and powerhouse, and will give special CT to those two classes, so that's very good. Only problem again is that he's powerhouse and B3 low debuffs him, but as I said in the first part of the video, is that in the future probably there's not going to be that many B3 laws and defense teams because the slashers are going to have more interesting laws to put in the team. So I think maybe the powerhouse and driven are not going to be as hard countered as they are right now. So this one is going to be a more useful unit, but the problem with this unit is that the special gives very low damage, and yeah, special CT reduction to himself is not bad, but his cooldown is not really that low. So yeah, I think he should be lower than the special CT up buffs that we have, so Viola and Rebecca. So I think he should definitely be lower. Well, maybe like you could see some use if you don't have one of the units required for the slasher team. So I will put him here higher than this Rebecca because people are sometimes are using him in the main team, so as a main core of the team. So I think he should be somewhere like this, but um, probably higher than this Akainu. So yeah, I will leave him somewhere like this. And then we have Corazon, sorry, Tesoro. So Tesoro is actually the other unit together with this Viola and Rebecca and this Stampede Usopp that will give Rainbow City up, which is very good. And also he will give at the very start when he's above, I think it's 60% HP, defense of level 1 to the whole team, which is very good. And the special is not that relevant, will give very low fixed damage, and then pretty high level of defense, which actually you don't really need to invest that much in the special for it to be a relevant amount of defense up. So I have him, for example, at level 4, the special, and max passive, obviously, but he's a really good unit, and I think he should be close to that Stampede Usopp, but the fact that the Stampede Usopp is only cost 20 makes him, I think, a little bit better. So I think he should be like next to that unit, but a little bit lower because of the fact that Tesoro costs 55 and a Stampede Usopp costs 20. So yeah, I think I will do something along those lines. So yeah. Then we have Raid Big Mom, which also a free-to-play unit. She's a slasher unit, and she will give attack up to slashers and then damage with a special and buff her own attack with a special. So it's not that bad. Before Roger and Odin, she was better, I would say. Like she could have seen more use before Roger and Odin. He wasn't seeing use, but he was definitely good. Now with Roger and Odin, yeah, you don't really need her that much, but you can definitely use her in some kind of bait slasher team, and she is definitely more useful than these other units that I mentioned because her damage is actually pretty high and pretty early, and so that can actually kill some units and do something for your team. So I think she should be actually on the level of the Rebecca for the because it's a unit that you can put in slasher teams, and you can even put her in maybe in some attacking slasher teams, which is not the same, for example, for the Rebecca, I think so, and cost 30, which is the good thing. So I think I will do something like this. Then we have PP Limited Rare Recruit Nekamamushi, which is a very good unit, only cost 20, obviously. And actually will buff Striker and Cerebral. A lot of interesting units in that two classes. I mean, not the best two classes of Fire Rumble, but there's very interesting units there. So I think he has a lot of potential, and I have actually used him a lot. The problem is that in the teams that he's not useful, he does nothing for your team because if you don't have a majority of Striker and Cerebral units, yeah, it's not that good, but the fact that he gives defense up level 5 at the start of for these two classes, it's massive. Very, very good because he is one of the only units actually that will give so high defense at the very, very start. So I think he's definitely tier 1. So I would probably put him here. I mean, as I said in the first part of the tier list, the positions inside tiers can switch a little bit, and it's relevant actually. So, for example, in tier one, I'm actually saying that Changshu is better than Carrot. So, but inside the tiers, I could actually switch things around a little bit. So it's not 100% accurate because I'm doing it as I go. So yeah. Then we have Legend Lucci, which I is one of my favorite units. And before the release of Roger and Odin, I was always trying to put him in every team, and I really like him because he gives massive defense down and then a lot of multiplier damage, and he will give actually speed to shooters, which if there's no shooters, he will at least give speed to himself. But shooters are actually not to be messed with because there's the Stronghold Ace, Kizaru, this guy. There's even Frankie. So yeah, a lot of interesting units, and I may be a little bit biased here, but I really like this unit. So I think he will be the top of tier 2. I think it's not as good as these units that are more kind of either rainbow or useful for a slasher team, which is like the main team, apart obviously also for the rainbow team. But yeah, so I think I will put him in top of tier 2 and he will stay in top. So yeah, then we have this Raid Zoro, also free to play unit slasher. So he will give attack to slashers with a passive, which is okay. But then also a pretty high fixed damage, like surprisingly high fixed damage, and then defense down. So good unit. I think he should be better than the Bellamy, but I think he should still be under this Rebecca because this Rebecca could see definitely more use than him. And also this big mom, for example, will actually be able, for example, to kill maybe some units but the fixed damage of this Zoro probably won't because it's just I think 1450, I think something like this. So yeah, and we have Legend Barto, which is more like not that good of a unit, so he will go in tier 4. But I mean, he's interesting because he will actually activate the provoke buff, and he will actually give himself guard up level 10, and then he's with a passive he's giving driven and I think driven and striker, but I'm not sure, guard up level 6. So when he activates a special on a very very low cooldown, 15 seconds, he will actually give guard up level 16 to himself, so that's like a 90% chance of guarding the attack. So with normal attacks he's going to be very very tanky. The problem is that the specials damage him, so for that reason, because of the special can damage him, I will put him a little bit lower than Bullet, but he should be around the same level of Bullet, and he's definitely not as known. And also Bullet will keep attack up to your team, so that's something. So yeah, definitely a unit that is interesting, but I do not really recommend investing in him. So yeah. Then we have this law, which is we will give a lot actually of speed to strikers with the passive. So if in the future there's other striker units, like now there's pretty good striker units already, but if there's like a game-changing striker unit, then this unit is going to be massive because there's a lot of a speed with the striker. So yeah, I really like this unit, and also he will give massive fixed damage on a kind of small range, but like medium range, I think it is, but 2,850, I think. So a lot of them fixed damage. So I really like this unit. And I was using him in one of the first videos that I uploaded in my channel, trying to counter the in team, and it was quite good. So I think I will put him higher than the Akainu, which also gives a lot of fixed damage, but this guy actually does not rely on being under 30 seconds, so I think he should be here, and then his potential of the speed to strikers is actually quite interesting. So yeah, then we have this Legend Whitebeard. Yeah, Legend Whitebeard is not that bad of a unit. He will buff Striker and Powerhouse, and is a very tanky unit. And also with the special, he will give defense, and I think it's a health cut, so pretty stock standard tanky unit. But the problem is that there's a much better quick Whitebeard, which is PvP Whitebeard, that I'm gonna be talking about. So because of that fact, he goes very much lower than him because he costs 55 and PP Whitebeard only costs 20. So I think he should be in tier 3 but on the lower end because I mean he only buffs Striker and Powerhouse, which are not the two best classes. So yeah, it's worth mentioning him. He's not that bad of a unit, but PvP Whitebeard is much better. So yeah, and you cannot put both units in the same team. So yeah. Then we have this Spandam Slasher, well, Spandam CP9 unit, and then his Slasher, the passive will give attack up, Rainbow, which is okay, and then the special will actually massively debuff the defense of Quick and Dex units, which is not that bad, but I mean, it's not that relevant. It will not give damage with the special, so that's a little bit of a downside, and that's why I will put him under these other two quick units that are like free to play and that will at least give defense down and but at least some kind of damage. This is a health cut and then fixed damage. So I think he should be the worst of these kind of units. So yeah. Then we have this B3 Kuzan. Now B3 Kuzan right now it's not that good, but in the future there's going to be a PvP buff which will massively buff him. So I'm not like if you know this, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'm not really sure if in JP they got like more buffs apart from this guy because they announced like they were going to release some PvP buffs, but I only saw this guy. So maybe it was just one unit buff, but let me know if there were more units that were buffed because I have no idea of that, and I haven't seen that anywhere. So I think they only buffed this unit, but if I'm mistaken, then please let me know. So because it's gonna be interesting if they buff other units. So yeah, then here's the B3 Kuzan with the buffs, which are going to be coming out in around 2 months, I think. Is gonna be massive because he will give at the very start speed level 10, which is massive, a lot, and attack up level 5 to strength, dex, and quick, which is very, very good for the first 40 seconds, and then after that, only 5 speed. So, yeah, still very good. And with the special, we'll give 2 times attack, so a lot of attack, a lot of damage, and we'll actually special bind, I think, 1 unit for 100% chance. So, that's really, really good. So I really think that he will see a lot of play also because in the future there's going to be, I think, more use of quick units with the release of Legend Kaido. So not Kaido Big Mom, the new Legend Kaido that came out in JP. So I think he should be somewhere like this. So I think I'm content with leaving him there. So and now we have this unit, which is actually a very, very good unit. I really like this unit. And this unit will actually give HP to 3 typing. So I think it's quick, Psi, and Int, but I'm not really that sure. But the combination of quick and Psi is very good. And we'll give this unit HP. And with a special and a low cooldown, actually will give fixed damage, which is okay and then we'll give defense. So that's very, very nice. And I think this is like the better than like this rainbow HP that this Luffy has. So even if it's only three typings, the fact that her special does something good for your team, it's good. So yeah, I really like this unit. So then we have this Legend Smoker, which is actually not that good. I will put him together with this Whitebeard. It's not that good. You can use him. That's two times attack with special. Not bad, but and paralysis, but an HP too quick. But PP Whitebeard does the same in terms of HP, and Kaido will do the same. Other units will do the same. So definitely not a required unit, but it's a unit it's worth mentioning. You can use him definitely maybe a little bit lower. So I think I will put him like this, probably. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I do not have him, so I wanted to include him because I do not have him and I do not want to judge him, but I don't see him being that useful. But well, because in the future when quick teams are relevant, this guy has no spot in those teams because there's much better units than him. So yeah. Then we have Stasi, which is a very, very interesting unit, quick-centered unit. And as I said, in the future, is going to be more relevant, and she's actually very good. The only problem with her is that she only does things for the first 30 seconds, so that's a bit of a problem, but if you put her in the middle and you guarantee that she dies early, and then you will get the bus for the first 30 seconds, and when she's not giving the bus, he will just die, and another unit will enter. So you can definitely use her for that, and I think she should be tier 1, higher than the Sanji, which is the lowest rated, I think, PvP limited rare code. So I think yes, something like this it's pretty great. So then we have this Sugar. So Sugar is actually, I think, better than Smoker. Will actually massively debuff the special city of strength units, which you can actually debuff Odin. So that's actually very, very nice, and will actually give special city up to quick units, which is very, very nice. The special will further debuff strength units and stuff. It's not that relevant. But the thing about this unit is that if you debuff Odin, you have to make sure you kill him before he activates. If you don't, you're just guaranteeing for the enemy team that Roger will activate before Odin. So you have to be careful with that. But if you manage your team correctly, you could do some great stuff with her. And also she's driven, and in the future, driven are gonna be relevant. So I think she's higher than Smoker, probably not higher than Kit, I would say. So yeah, I would put her here. As you can see, there's a lot of units in tier 2, which is like the middle tier. But yeah, I think she deserves to be here. Obviously, now we have PP Whitebeard, an amazing unit. What can I say? Obviously, he goes in tier 0. It's been a long time since I haven't put a unit in tier 0, so obviously, yes, this guy, amazing, amazing damage, amazing defense down, guaranteed to all units, the defense down. Cost 20, you can put him in any team, even if he's not related at all with the team, you should put him in the team just because he's amazing. Like people, and I myself included, are using this guy in the slasher team, and he's not slasher, so just to show how strong this unit is. So obviously, probably you all know how good this unit is. So yeah, amazing unit. And then we have now we are finished with the quick units, and we will start with the Psy units. And there's a lot of interesting Psy and Int units. So we have Legend Shirahoshi. First, like the best healer in the game in terms of numbers, but she's side-centered and high cooldown. So Otama is definitely better at healing than her, but you could use her for something, and she's very annoying because she can heal 3000 plus HP. But right now, with the current meta, with the amount of damage that the units are able to deal, if you don't have enough defense, that actually doesn't matter. That she kills the unit. So yeah, I think before I would have put her higher, but I think she should be probably here, higher than Spandam. yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So somewhere like this. And then we have Roger, obviously amazing unit. You all know Rainbow unit, Rainbow speed, Rainbow defense, Rainbow attack, with a special guarantee to all units, a lot of fixed damage 2000, will massively debuff everything, like a lot of speed down, a lot of attack down, a lot of defense down, like amazing unit. What can I say? And low cooldown, like 30 seconds. So what else can be said about this guy? Uh, I think he is definitely the best unit in Power Rumble, and the only competition that he has is PvP Whitebeard. So I will do it like this because I definitely think that Roger is the best unit because he's actually like required for a lot of teams, and you can use him in Rainbow teams, in Free Spirit teams, in Slasher teams, obviously, in side teams, in a lot of teams. You can use Roger, and you definitely want to use him in pretty much almost every team. So yeah, I think he's the best unit in Power Rumble right now. So yeah, then we have Kizaru. Obviously, you all know him too. A very good unit for the slasher and but also shooters. And it's a lot of speed, some special CT up, and then we'll give massive attack up with the special and a very low cooldown. He will actually give himself the speed and the special CT up, which is very nice. Will give some early damage, which is not essential but pretty useful in a lot of teams. So I think he should be higher than Shanks Crew. Um, I'm doubting if putting him in tier 0 or tier 1. So I think I will, for the moment, I will leave him here, but maybe at the end I will put him in tier 0. So I think I will be do something like that. So yeah, then we have this Crocus, which is a size-centered unit. Now we have a lot of size-centered units, and this Crocus, his passive is not bad, so it's not that bad, this Crocus. And I mean, yeah, if you are building a side team and you have to put this unit in the main team, yeah, it's kind of a lost spot, but maybe in some kind of bait, it can be useful. So I think he should be somewhere like this. And I actually have seen that I have put this guy here and was slasher centered. So I think I should at least put this guy lower than this and definitely then this lower than this. Definitely the spandam. So sorry about these changes, but I think I should be doing it like this. Yes, I think I like this unit much more than these ones, and this unit also because she costs 20. So I think this should be like this. So yeah, and this way we get less units in tier 2. So yeah, then we have this Crocus that I think should go here. Then we have Rayleigh, which is also a side center unit but tanky, will give HP and defense with a special. So yeah, I think he's higher than this Crocus. Then we have B3, B2 Kuzan. So actually will give massive speed and massive defense to Quick and Sai, and actually is a very good combination, Quick and Sai, thanks to this unit. So I really love this unit, and also with the special we give guaranteed fixed damage, guaranteed to all units, 1400. So and will massively debuff int and strength, which are two very good typings in Power Rumble. So and will debuff the defense and the special CT. So I really like this unit, and this early defense is pretty useful, and it's not always easy to find. So I think for that reason, I think he should be higher than this unit that is a quick center. So I think he's very good, and I really love this unit. So maybe it's a little bit biased, but I think he definitely deserves a tier 1. Um, yes, I think it should be something like this because yes, his counterpart, Lias the Kuzan, will give massive speed too to three different typings. But the problem with this is that this guy gives defense and this guy doesn't. And early defense is massive, so I think he deserves to be higher than the other Kuzan. And we have Tankman, another self-centered, not well, self-centered defensive Sai unit. So I mean, it's not bad, but it's. I mean, you can use him in defense bait teams, I guess, but so he should be, I think, like this, sorry, like this. He's useful, but not that much. Then we have B3 Law, amazing unit, massively debuffs powerhouse and driven, game changing against powerhouse and driven teams, and even against teams that have powerhouse and driven units. Massive debuff, so very relevant unit, mostly in attacking teams. So because if you see a driven team, you will definitely use V3 Law if you have him, and if you see a powerhouse team, the same. But in defense teams, maybe you don't want to use him every time. So yeah, I think he definitely deserves tier 1, but I will see where I put him from here because he's slasher and the current relevance of the slashers, I think I will put him here. So I think Stronghold Days has a very underrated unit, and I think it should be here because yes, he will give special city to side units, which Roger is size, so that's very helpful. But the fact that he costs 55 and he will not give either speed, defense, HP, any of the things that you would definitely want, and he will only give special city to one typing, that's a little bit of a drawback. And another drawback of this unit is that his special, yeah, he will give fixed damage, and he just gives a very weird debuff reduction, but he doesn't resist anything. So, for example, before law, if before law special binds the whole team, like he will not reduce that special bind because he also gets special binded. So yeah, uh, kind of a miss that part of his special. So, but still a very amazing unit for the debuffs and for the special city. So yeah. I love this unit, but I don't think it deserves tier 0. So yeah, then we have Hancock. So Hancock, I think it's a very interesting unit, and it's a side center unit, and will give defense to when she's under a certain threshold, will give defense of level 3, I think, to side units. But she's on a low cooldown and executioner unit, so will give actually 4,000 fixed damage, I think, to the unit with lowest HP, which at the end of the match can be kind of a miss because she can target like bait units or units that are just about to die so that they don't need 4,000 fixed damage. But if at least the first activation can be very useful because if you combine her with Calgara Nolan will give definitely before her some very high damage, will lower the HP of a unit, and then this 4,000 fixed damage to that unit, which is going to be the one with lowest HP, is going to be one-shotted probably. So very useful use, also because she's Psy, and if you combine her with Beat Reload, that's already a lot of special CT. And I'm pretty sure she's shooter, so she works well with Kizaru too. So I know I said Lucci will stay in top of tier 2, but sorry, Boa is just a little bit better, I think. So yeah. I mean, in certain scenarios. So they are close, but Lucci can be more useful in a wider range of scenarios. But the use that Bitwipo has, I think it's pretty interesting. I don't have her, so maybe it's not that interesting. But as I haven't been able to test it, I think it has a lot of potential. So yeah. Then we have another Psi Center unit. And I think this one is actually in the middle, so it's not as tanky as this one, but will give a little bit of special city to Sai and then speed, I think. So useful, the special not that much, but yeah. But I think definitely out of all of these Sai center units, this one is actually the best one because she will actually give the same actually does this Crocus with a passive, but her special will actually heal. Now I have to rethink again a little bit these things because obviously slasher teams are better than side teams. So a niche use of a slasher unit is going to be better than a niche use of of a side unit. So yes, I think I will leave it like that still. So I think I will do it like this, yes. So next up we have this it's kind of, I think it's free to play. I think you can farm her. So she's like one of the size super type straw hats, and this is actually a very good unit. Costs 20, and actually very surprisingly She's very similar to that Orlambus because she will give defense down level 7 for a lot of seconds on a low cooldown, and she's Psy. So with B3 low, she can get a lot of special CT up. So I think she's a useful unit. Maybe you don't want to really put her in a lot of teams, but the fact that she costs 20, I think, makes her better than these other size center units that cost 30. So yes, I think, and as she's similar to her Lumbus, but she's easier to get special city up to. I think that makes her a little bit better, even though Orlambus gives higher defense down. So yeah. Then we have this Big Mom, which is a driven center unit, but a pretty good unit if you read what she does in the future when driven are more relevant. I think she's gonna see more play, but she's a good unit, but right now she doesn't see much play. So I think she definitely deserves to be here. Maybe in the future she's going to be higher because drivens are going to be more relevant. The problem is that she's only useful if you're using some driven units. So yeah, but I think it's a good unit. So yeah. Then we have Calgaran Nolan. Calgaran Nolan, obviously a very impressive unit. Only cost 20. That's a good part about him. So I think he definitely should be at least in the top of tier 1. But I think I will put him in the lower end of tier 0. So, yes, I will put him lower than Otama, even though I really like this unit, one of my favorite units of Pyro Rumble. A lot of damage to one unit, but the Otama is giving something for your team, and special city up level 6 is no joke. And also she's healing, while this guy is only buffing himself, and giving a lot of damage to one specific unit. So yeah. I really like this unit, so I think I will leave him at tier 0, but I think the Otama gives more for your team. So yeah, I will do it like this. And the Kizaru definitely could be also in tier 0, maybe at the same level of Calgar Nolan, I would say, but yeah, it's very dependent. So here we have a fighter unit. So it's we start with the int units. So we have Jinbei. So Jinbei fighter unit, HP to fighters, and some defense up level 3 to fighters. So very good about that. Fighters are gonna be more relevant with the release of Luffy Sanji. So I think this is going to be an interesting unit. Also gives a lot of attack down and some damage with the special, so I think she's interesting. He's interesting, so I will actually put him higher than this Kuzan because defense up at the start is relevant and fighters are gonna be interesting and also quick units in the future, but quick teams in the future. But I think that defense is very relevant, so I will leave him in the top of tier 2. So yeah, then we have P4 Low, which just released in global. So a very interesting unit, as I mentioned in some of my previous video. I really like him, and I think he's definitely tier 1, and I will see where I place him. I think he's a little bit lower than the other Law, even though he's better, quote unquote, as a unit. But the fact that B3 Law massively changes the matches against certain classes, it's so relevant and it cannot be really ignored. Like, even if in a team B4 Law fits better than B3 Law, the fact that you can always rely on B3 Law to debuff driven teams is amazing. So I think he should be in a similar level than him. So yeah. And then we have Rayleigh, which is okay. It's Rainbow Speed, I think, and then with the special will special bind the unit with highest attack. So it's not bad, but not that relevant. So I think I will put him in the top of tier 4. So he's a unit that you should know about. That do I suggest investing in him? Probably not. So yeah, these units are these kind of units. Do I suggest investing on them? Probably not. Also, some of these units do. But yeah. Then we have Hody, which I wanted to put him because he as a unit is not that bad, but he's powerhouse centered only, and powerhouse are not really in their best place right now in Pyro Rumble, so I will leave him here just to mention him. He's a good unit, so I don't think he should be in tier 4, but powerhouse are not really that relevant. So yeah, and then we have B2 Shanks. B2 Shanks, very good unit actually for in teams. He's actually pretty much essential for that Halloween Mihawk. Will give a lot of crit to int, so and with the special he will give some health cut. So it's not bad at all. So I think he should be somewhere like in the middle of the tier 2. I think he's useful, and if you have Halloween Mihawk, you can definitely try a team with him. And I will actually rank now. I will rank him at the same place because they go kind of together. Maybe Shanks can see use outside this kind of team, so maybe he's a little bit better. But definitely, if you want to build a team like this, you need to pull on on the PP limited rare recruit ores, which is a little bit of a downside. So yeah. So I will leave him here. Then we have Baggy, which is a rainbow massive speed buff, which you should know about. It's not that bad, but the special does nothing, so just more buffs to speed. So yeah, the fact that he does not do any damage or any debuffs or stuff like that, I do not really like it. But and he's driven, so he gets debuffed by B3 law. So yeah, and he's a legend, so he costs 55. Do you really want to use 55 cost for a unit like that? I think not, but yeah, well. And then we have White Blackbeard, which is not that bad for an in team, but yeah, the problem is that yeah, the in team already has a lot of HP. Um, and yeah, he will give early damage, so for that reason, I think I will put him like higher than Sugar, I think, but definitely at the level of Kita, I think. I think Kita as a unit is better, but he can see more play because in teams, in units are more relevant right now. But I think he as Kita as a unit is better, I think. So yeah, then I will use sorry, now we have Legend Sanji. So Sanji is a very good unit actually. I mean the special is very good, massive damage with defense down, so a very good combo. The problem is that his passive does not match. Well, buff his attack, which is helpful for his special, but yeah, I mean a lot of other better in units that you could use. So I will put him together with Blackbeard. Probably Blackbeard is a little bit better because he can give more early damage. So yeah. Now we have here this unit that if you play this season of Fire Rumble you will get, and it's kind of free to play. So and then it's a Rainbow HP buff, so it's very nice. Cost 30, and with a special will special bind a unit with highest attack, I think. So I mean similar to that Rayleigh, so I think I will put them higher, I think, than Rayleigh, but not that much. I think maybe he should be higher because all the rainbow HP buffs are higher, so I think he should actually be here. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, they cost 20, 30, so it's good, but they're like out of these ones or other rainbow HP buffs, like they either do something else or they are just like cost 20, which is the ideal thing. So yeah. And then we have this Frankie, which is very similar to that Luffy, but I think this Frankie will give HP to Quick and Int, which is our two very nice typings. And with the special, will give Provoke buff and massive defense up to himself, the defense up level 10. So that's the only reason why I put him here. So very similar to this Luffy, so I will leave him here. And then we have Fujitora, another in-team unit. But for himself, yes, it's a massive health cut with the special and some HP to driven, which is very nice. The fact that though he has a very high cooldown and that all the fixed damage from other units in the units is with a lower CT makes him not that good. So I would probably leave him like at the lower end of these int units, but he can see some play. And then we have this Robin, which is nice mentioning her. She's basically giving defense up level 3 to Cerebral, so and then some guard, but the special is only giving guard, so not that great of a unit, but the defense down up at the start is useful. So if you're using a Cerebral team, you might consider using her, but do you really want to spend 55 costs for her and invest in her as a legend? Not really. So yeah, just something that I will leave it here. So she's not that bad. So then we have this Dopey, which is obviously very nice unit. I think he's definitely tier 0. Now I think I will put Dofi lower than Rayleigh because both of these units give HP and defense, but Rayleigh is Rainbow. Although Dofi gives the defense at the very start, also gives attack up and a lot of damage with the special on a lower cooldown than Rayleigh, so I think I will leave Dofi higher. But they are very close together. Also, just because Slasher and Drivens, Slashers are relevant now, and Drivens are gonna be relevant on the future, so I think I should give him that. So I think he should stay in tier 0 like that. And now we have Pudding, another in center unit will give HP to Int. The special will give a special city reduction, so not that great of a unit. I think I will leave her here. So yeah, you can use her, but I don't really recommend. It's a shame that her passive debuffs Slasher, but only debuffs attack down level 5. If she had debuffed Slashers in a more significant way, I think she would be much higher in this list. But it's a missed opportunity. Like one of the only units that debuffs Slashers is actually only attack down level 5. So a little bit of a shame there. So now we have Josu, which is very good unit. Yes, he is actually in center, so he should be, because of the fact that he is a PvP limited rare recruit, and Int are going to see a little bit more play now. I think he should be like higher definitely than Sanji, but not much higher. So yes, he has a very nice utility. Maybe I will put him with Stasi because Stasi is for quick and he is for int, and actually int is a little bit better now, so I will put him here. I think this is a good place for him. And now we have B3 Katakuri, very good unit, and definitely he's tier 1, but thinking about putting him in tier 0 because it's a very nice unit. Massively debuff Psy, which are a lot of Psy units, also deals by the defense, which is very relevant, and a lot of damage guaranteed to all units, massively debuffs to classes. So I think I will put him in the tier 0. I think the lower end of tier 0, so Kizaru could still be there, but I think I will put him there. So I think I really like this unit. And then actually the Konis, which definitely Konis should be together with Josu, maybe a little bit higher now with the relevance of Psy units and the fact that she's debuffing the Psy units, so she has some niche uses. But maybe in most scenarios you would prefer Josu over Konis, but Konis has a very niche use, which is very good. So I think she has a lot of potential, but you have to use her in a right way. So now we have the Shanks, which reminds me that I actually forgot to 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 put a unit, which is B1 Kuzan. So Shanks and B1 Kuzan are very similar. These Shanks that will be releasing now in global, and they both give action bind, one for 8 seconds, the other for 5. So Shanks is a little bit better. But the thing is that both Roger and Odin now avoid action bind, and in the future other units are going to avoid that too. So I don't think it's really that relevant. We'll give damage with a special, so it's okay. So he's a good unit. I think he's better than B1 Kuzan, but so B1 Kuzan should be here in between Shanks and Sanji, but I do not think he's really that good as, for example, Halloween Law, so I think I will leave him like that. So out of the 3 Halloween units, I think he's in the middle one. And now we are finished with the units that we currently have, and now I will rank just the 3 new units that are going to be coming out at the end of this month. So for our anniversary, first we have the 6+ of Capone, which is Capone is a good unit mainly as a defense, but now, as I said, the matches do not go that that long. So I mean, it's not really that useful, but at least with the 6+, with the special, will give defense to shooters, not only to himself. So that might be a thing that will be very useful. So for that, I think he should be, I think somewhere like this. I think he's going to be a good unit, but not that good of a unit. So a normal unit. that you could use. And then we have the Germa, which is going to be a very important piece for the side teams because it's going to be the one that will give them HP up and also some defense. And with the special, will give massive fixed damage guaranteed to 2 units or 3 units, I'm not sure. And I think also some paralysis, but don't quote me on that. But I think for the passive, they're going to be a very, very useful unit. So definitely together a little bit with the Boa, but I think that even though the German 66s are going to be a pretty required unit for the side teams, the Boa can see some other uses, niche uses, but I think I like the Boa better, but that could change. So, and then we have Luffy Sanji, which I definitely think they will be actually a tier 0 unit. I think I will put Luffy Sanji here. So in the middle of tier 0, I think they definitely deserve this because they are actually very similar than Kung Fu Luffy with speed and attack to the whole team, Rainbow. And but they actually with a special will give massive speed to all units, which is incredible. Like it's incredible to give more speed with a special. And then we'll give massive attack, 3.5 times their attack to two guaranteed to 2 units that then it cannot miss. So amazing, and a lot of attack up also with the special. So and they are fighters, so very good unit. Like definitely we'll see some important plays, I think, in rainbow teams, in fighter teams, and stuff like that. I think they are free spirit, so also in free spirit teams. Like yes, they do not feel well with Odin, for example. Maybe if they are free spirit, yes, a little bit, but still a very amazing unit. And if you just put Roger together with Luffy Sanji, that's already a lot of speed and a lot of attack, and then you just have to fill your team with Ryuden. So I think definitely a unit to keep an eye out for. A really really good unit. I really love. I think I will really love this unit when they come out. So. But here we have the actual tier list of the units in Power Rumble. Probably I have forgotten some units like V1 Kuzan, so let me know in the comment section if you notice that there's some unit missing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. I know it's two very long videos, so if you have made it till the end of this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It has taken me a lot of time to do this video, not only for the 2 hours of the two videos. So yeah, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this tier list. What if you disagree in some positions? There's obviously some switching around that could be made inside the tiers, but I think this is more or less what my opinions. Like yes, probably I could switch some units, but let me know if you strongly disagree with some units. So if you think a unit I put in tier 3 should be in tier 1 or the opposite or things like that. So let me know in the comment section down below, and if you have made it again into the end of this video. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.